Drinking beer and watching sports is pretty awesome, and one of the few things on par is drinking beer and playing video games. But dropping all that cash on games that end up collecting dust after you're done with them sucks. But there's no sense in trading in old games unless you really want 25 cents off your new one. There's a better way, GameFly.
GameFly has over 8,000 new releases and classics available to rent for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, PS Vita, Wii U, Wii, and 3DS, as well as older systems. As a GameFly member, you can rent as many console and handheld games as you want and get them delivered right to your mailbox for one low monthly fee.
And if you like a game so much that you don't want to send it back, you can keep it for a low used price. There are never any due dates or late fees, and GameFly also offers the ability to rent Blu-ray and DVD movies as part of the regular service at no extra charge.
And right now, GameFly is offering fans of Craft Brewed Sports a premium free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. To get that free trial started today, just go to gameflyoffer.com/craftbrewedsports. That's gameflyoffer.com/craftbrewedsports. Or just head on over to our website, craftbrewedsports.com, and click the GameFly link in the menu bar. We've all been there. You're standing in the beer aisle staring at the same selection that was there last week and just wishing you could try something different. That's where Tavour comes in. Tavour is the best and easiest way for you to get the beers that you can't find in your favorite bottle shop.
No need to hunt down people to trade with or worry about sending some sketchy guy a PayPal account hoping that he delivers on the bottle that you want. Tavour has your back. They only work with independent breweries, so there's no risk of getting suckered into buying an InBev beer pretending to be a craft brew.
And it's insanely easy. Just sign up for your free account, download the Tavour app for your Android or iPhone, and you'll get notifications when new beers are ready. Just go to the app and click Get It, and they'll put the quantity requested aside for you and ship it to your door. You can ship as many beers as you want for a flat fee, and you can schedule your delivery as soon as 1 week and as late as 5 after you select the beer you want to buy.
And now, fans of Craft Brewed Sports can get $10 in credit after you buy your first beer through Tavour.com. Just go to our website, craftbrewedsports.com, and click the Tavour link in the menu bar. Create your free account, and after your first beer is shipped out, you'll see a $10 credit hit your account. There's no commitment, no contract, no gimmicks, just great beer delivered directly to your door.
This is Bronson Arroyo from the Cincinnati Reds, and you're listening to Craft Brewed Sports with Scott and Mike.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Craft Brewed Sports. I'm Mike. Sitting across from me, as always, is Scott. The man behind the computers is Joe. This is Craft Brewed Sports. Scott, you ready to tap this keg of virtual sports knowledge?
The man behind the computers?
Yeah.
Is it computers? You add an S to stuff?
Well, I guess because he's got two screens, it made me think he had two computers for a second.
Oh.
I got confused.
You pump out whore.
Deal.
I'm fancy.
It is. I was thinking about how much this show has grown since the first episode, and
This table?
I looked, I was like, "Damn, that's a lot of shit over there that Joe's dealing
There's
with."
a whole bunch of equipment.
It doesn't fit on the table
I
that
was
we had.
just
We have
gonna
a
say.
second table. Like that's how much crap goes on
I
here.
remember it was 2 mics, 2 dudes on a couch.
Yeah, that was
That was the name of our porno tape.
Right. Well, that was weird. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. There's going to be more jokes like that throughout the episode. Yeah, go ahead, man. Play that.
I got
There
audio.
you go.
Don't worry about it.
Let's get into the beer of the
I
week.
don't even know what that was.
That sounded like from 12 Ounce is what that sounded like. Let's get into the beer of the week. This week, we are drinking another one from Tavour. This is Salted Caramel Stout from Breakside Brewing. And yeah, you goddamn right I said caramel.
Caramel. For all of you normal people, it's salted caramel.
Actually, I looked at their website, like trying to find some more info about the beer and other things that they do at the brewery. When they have this it listed under their, like they have a calendar of monthly beers that come out, and this is January through April, I think is when this is available in the brewery, and they spelled it Carmel. And I was like, that's caramel. That is salted caramel.
The word is caramel, period.
You add an A in there,
Purred.
and it's
purred.
caramel.
Caramel.
So anyways, this is Salted Caramel Stout by Breakside Brewing. They're out of Portland, Oregon. So this was one that apparently they partnered with an ice cream shop out in Oregon called Salt and Straw Creamery, and the ice cream shop is blown up. Like they've released or they've opened up shops in California, have lines out the door. Like it's absolutely crazy what these guys have been doing. This is a 6.7% ABV beer. Here's the flavor profile according to Tavour. They say it's a fudge-like stout base with cocoa-laced caramel and dashes of vanilla and graham cracker crust.
That's pretty deep.
That sounds really good. And I think that's why we bought this. Like as soon as this one came up, this was one of those where we were like, "Yep, we'll take it." It's 3.79% on 3.79 caps on Untapped and a 93 at Rate Beer. So good ratings all around for this beer. Scott, what's your first impressions of it?
It's a pretty solid stout.
Yeah, I can read between the lines on that one.
As soon as you got into the part, and I knew it obviously before, but the part where you said they partnered with ice cream, I immediately had thoughts to the first time we had an ice cream company inspired stout.
Yeah.
A collaboration with Braxton and Graders.
Oh, yeah.
And how disappointed we were with the flavor profile because it didn't really deliver on the raspberry chip as much as it should have. This is good stout. I taste all the stout. Maybe a little salt.
I don't taste very much. I
Stout.
don't taste very much stout. I will say, I mean, it's.
No, I don't taste any caramel. I don't taste any graham cracker crust.
I taste that fudge-based.
You taste stout?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
pretty
cool.
much.
Yeah,
It's very
gotcha.
chocolatey.
Yeah.
If this was billed as salted chocolate stout,
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
not too much caramel right off the tip.
No. Maybe it'll come out later. Maybe it's hiding. Maybe the caramel sank to the bottom of the bottle. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe we needed to shake it up before we drank.
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
I'm
with
gonna
beer.
I'm
Just
gonna
shake
go
it
with
up
that.
first and
I
see
don't
how
know.
it goes.
It's-
So we'll see how this one holds up. I'm kind of under that same deal with this one, where it's just like, it's all right to start with. We'll see. I mean,
I just have a feeling this is going to just be, oh, hey, it was a decent stout. That's about it. Can't say anything else other than that.
yeah,
Not a bad beer.
I don't have.
This has all the makings of 2 weeks in a row saying, not a bad beer, can't recommend it, because it doesn't deliver on what it says it is on the bottle.
We'll see how it holds up, though.
Yeah. Because I mean, maybe it'll be
it could
a surprise. It'll come out
totally
of
win
left
us
field.
over. We have all kinds of fucking problems right now.
What else
Facebook
is going wrong?
live feeds killed. Like, this is just a shit show, man.
Oh, cool.
Lost episode
Is
here is what this
is
one
anybody
is.
listening?
We're still on 12 ounce. They just won't be able to hear any of the audio cues or anything like that.
Oh, cool. So it'll be random.
Yeah, man. Technical issues
Technology.
are a pain in the ass, so it is what it is. Anyways, that's the beer for this week. We will definitely see how this one holds up, because I don't know if I'm going to like it by the end of the show. Anyways, let's get into Upper Deck. We good for that, Joe? All right, cool.
Yeah, we can do that. We can manage that. Upper Deck is brought to you by Minuteman Tickets, owned by a couple of local Ohio dudes. They're sports fans, just like all of you.
Minuteman helps customers find the best deals on the market. These guys are all about honesty all the time, every time. If someone has a better price, they'll tell you straight up.
But Minuteman isn't just sports or concerts. They'll help you out with tickets to literally any event you want. They'll even sell the tickets for you.
And with college football right around the corner, be sure to hit up Minuteman for all of your OSU football ticketing needs.
Go ahead and go on over to Facebook, like them. That's where they do weekly giveaways of merchandise, sports and concert apparel, and, of course, even tickets.
They're even doing a giveaway on Monday where they'll be giving away some type of
sports tee.
Yeah, it'll be some type of signature and a Craft Fruit Sports tee. So be sure to like the Facebook page, check them out.
Like our Facebook page, because that'll
yes.
be part of the requirement.
Yeah, but that giveaway will go live on Monday, so be looking out for that. So check them out at MinutemanTickets.com or give them a call at 614-943-3000 and avoid all of the fees. It's huge. Just call them, no fees. That's crazy in the ticketing world. 614-943-3000.
America's team.
Yep, more proof that that's just a bullshit moniker that's being sold to all the idiots out there who believe it. Dallas Cowboys, for those of you who are unfamiliar,
when somebody says America's team. Their running back, Ezekiel Elliott, has pissed off quite a few of America's fans, if you will. Elliott had a autograph signing session at a fantasy football convention recently, and, well, didn't exactly live up to the billing of the fans' expectations. Fans were told... What? Oh, yeah, I know. Fans were told prior to the event that they'd be able to get any 2 items signed by Elliott, which, okay, seems pretty reasonable, right? Well, once they got there, they got hit with the okie doke. Turns out that he was only signing his merchandise. So anything Ezekiel Elliott featured, he'd sign. Couldn't be just Cowboys, couldn't be OSU, had to just specifically be Ezekiel Elliott merchandise. There was a t-shirt that you could buy at the convention where the autographs were being sold for $25. He'd sign that. But
so you got to pay for the T-shirt that they're selling there, which is
pay to get in the convention, of course. Well, the only problem with that was not everybody even got that. Turns out Zeke was just hitting people with stiff arms left and right. A few people told the story that they paid over $3,000 to get there, passes for the event, and some other stuff. Didn't walk away with any autographs. Were pissed. There were some other people who spent a little bit more modest amounts of money. There was a guy that spent half that amount. Didn't get autographs, but was like, "Hey, it was still great. I got a selfie. Yada yada." Schlep. Typical Cowboys fan, still drinking the Kool-Aid, even though he totally got screwed. But yeah, the majority of the fans were just like, hey, we wouldn't have cared if we knew ahead of time that, hey, he's only going to sign his merchandise or his stuff there. But we were told one thing, got another, and then even if we did buy that stuff, we didn't even necessarily get it signed. One guy straight up said, dude was a dick, and this was the third different time he had been somewhere where Elliott was signing autographs. He's like, yeah, it's par for the course.
Was Elliott wearing a belly shirt during this whole thing? Like, that's the only question I have.
I saw a photo.
None of it surprises me, but the only thing that would surprise me if he was wearing a regular t-shirt. I'd be like, that's weird.
I saw a photo, but it was far enough back that I couldn't tell if he was wearing a belly shirt. And he was sitting down, presumably signing autographs. He might have been telling somebody to fuck off at the time. I don't know. But either way, Dallas Cowboys fans, you suck, and so does your running back.
Man, that's cold. I know somebody who would be really pissed off about that one. First of all, okay, so I get the idea of like, all right, I'm only going to... At first, I was like, what are you trying to get him to sign that's not his merch? But I guess if you have just like a football that you're trying to get him signed and he says no,
I mean, if
then
you just
that's
have
bullshit.
Something Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't have to be anything.
Right.
I mean, it just, if it doesn't,
I guess like a mini helmet or something.
Yeah,
so he's just looking for signing his pictures,
his jersey.
His jersey.
Yeah, that's basically it. Anything that specifically has his name on it.
I would have just wrote Ezekiel Elliott on whatever I brought and been like, it's yours, man. Like, that's got your name on it. Fucking douchebag Ezekiel Elliott. We tried to tell you, man. We tried to tell people beforehand that guy's a douchebag, and people didn't want to believe it, but, whatever. Anyways, so let's move on. There are extreme fans, and then there's some extreme fans. So the Chargers have a dude, Dan... Not even going to fucking try to say this guy's last name. Jurgui? Jurgui.
Yep.
We'll go Jurgui.
Sounds good.
He's been dressing up as a lightning bolt mascot since 1996. If you've seen any Chargers games in the past, you've seen this dude in the stands.
Probably haven't.
He's not like... It's weird that teams have guys that do this. They're not like part of the team. They're not paid by the team. They pay for season tickets to sit in the front row, dress up in crazy shit, and get on TV, and somehow they get famous for it. Ohio State has those like buck nuts dudes that are all fucking weird and
that
shit.
That guy, he went into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like it's crazy. It's crazy that there's super fans that dress up like this. You get the dudes in the Raiders fans who wear like the Legion of Doom shoulder pads and shit. So there's a guy for the Chargers. Surprisingly, somebody likes the Chargers enough to buy a mascot outfit, pay for season tickets, and go to every single game dressed like this. But he's done now. He gave it up. It's over. He is retired as the Chargers' unofficial mascot.
Do they have a ceremony for that?
No, they do
like
not.
They should.
They should. Like, we are going to hang your lightning bolt face up in the rafters. It's most likely
The rafters of the soccer stadium that they're currently playing at.
It's most likely due to the move to LA, which is the driving force behind it. But in any case, he wants the tradition to continue, so he is auctioning off the, quote, Boltman costume and all of the intellectual rights associated with it on eBay. That's right, this dude has actually gone and trademarked portions of the Boltman, the likeness, merchandising rights. All of that is included. He started the auction off at $5,000 plus $600 shipping and handling. And as of 3 p.m. this afternoon, when I looked, there's 3 days left. It is up to $70,300 for the costume and the rights to it.
Wow.
Half of
For
that.
an unofficial mascot, that's
Yeah.
a ton of money.
So you're going to pay for that, and then you still have to buy tickets to the game to go, unless you're just going to be like in the tailgate lot. Like, hey,
I'm the guy that won the bid.
I'm this guy now. Do I get in for free? No, I still don't get in for free. Cool. Okay. Well, I'm going to. I got $70,000 that I'm going to try to get back. Half of it goes to some children's hospital out there. The weird part is, like, he put this at $5,000. The reserve price hasn't been met yet on eBay.
What?
Yeah, because I looked at that. I was like, okay, you're at $70,000. That's a nice chunk of change you're getting there, man. It said reserve has not been met. And I was like, this motherfucker. He put it up there for $5,000, and you know he's trying to get $100,000 out of this son of a bitch.
Right. I mean, good for him, though.
At least half of it's going to a hospital.
Yeah, I mean, well, and then
He's like, I'm recouping all of those season tickets that I had to buy since 1996 to watch the fucking Chargers play. I could and kids, but instead every Sunday I was going to watch
dressed up
the
like a loser.
goddamn Chargers.
Well, there were some good years in there. They ultimately ended up disappointing years, but I mean, the LT years were worth watching at least.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the silver lining for buying all those things.
No, there's nothing good about that other than this dude's about to get paid for being a mascot since 1996. 12 years of his life. No, that's longer than that. It's 22 years of his life. Holy shit. This just got really sad because I just figured out how to do math.
That's the second time this week you fucked up math.
Dude, I already got baby brain. Fuck it. I ain't even gonna apologize for that.
Well, that's a good transition, though. Speaking of baby brain, good week for Major League Baseball. The All-Star game was awesome. The Home Run Derby was even better. All around good week for them. But not such a good week for one Brewers pitcher, Josh Hader. For starters, he gave up a home run in the All-Star game to Gene Segura in the eighth that gave the American League the lead. But that wasn't even the worst part of his night, because during the game, it was discovered that he had tweeted out a bunch of racially insensitive tweets, homophobic tweets, a white power tweet. He used the word nigger a lot.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
A lot of N-bombs back when he was in high school.
Well, yeah, and he then hit us with post game. I was young. I was young. It was dumb. He went with the "I was too stupid" defense, more or less. The only problem with that was there was one about more recent police shooting that definitely happened in 2016 when he was no longer a teenager. Yeah. Josh Hader's actually been contacted by Major League Baseball as of today. They want to chat with Josh.
Doesn't he have to go through sensitivity training now? Which is...
Yeah, I think that's one of the standard things, but, racists going through sensitivity training.
Right. All right, I won't say it anymore.
Right.
I'm
I'm sure he doesn't.
How was it? I just can't say it anymure. I would have totally said it right there, but I don't feel comfortable making the joke.
Yeah. It's real ridiculous. I mean, the real shitty part is, so I felt kind of bad for his family, because at the All-Star game, his family was in a section, and this news kind of started leaking out, and people were getting wind of it during the game. Hader switched his profile on Twitter to private, but of course all the tweets had been screen grabbed by then.
He's really happy that this was during the All-Star game so that he could do that, because if it was like a regular game and he didn't have his phone, he'd like running to the clubhouse.
But his poor family, though, they all had Hader jerseys on in the stands and stuff, and they turned him inside out and were given jerseys that just had his number on it, not the name. They were fearing backlash, and it's just all around ugly. But hey, don't be racist at any age, and you won't have that problem. What? You're not supposed to say nigger no matter how old you are? Good fun. So, yeah, Josh Hader, chill the fuck out.
Super weird, man. All right, well, moving on. There's a rumor going around that professional boxer and grade A douche nozzle Adrian Broner was in Houston recently and went to a club in Houston. No idea how things escalated to what they did, but apparently a Houston rapper named Boston George, which I think is the funniest part to me in this whole story, that he's a Houston rapper named Boston George. Apparently he's in Jeezy's crew. He got into it with Broner, and according to the rumors, he beat Broner's ass and dragged him through the club like he was a baby doll. That's the descriptions that I read on Instagram. Was this motherfucker dragged him through the club like a baby doll. No charges. There's never been any pictures of injuries posted. There's no video footage. So this all could be bullshit. But if it is not, it is my favorite story of the week because Adrian Broner is a big time piece of shit. And if somebody finally lit him up, if for those of you that don't know Adrian Broner, he is the one who got our one live feed killed because we had tried to do the drop of him giving the post-fight presser where he like made fun of Mexicans and then said that I think in that post-fight press conference he was like, yeah, I want to fight again, but we're going to do it back in my town. I want to be around people who like Skyline, not people who like tacos. It's like, what the fuck did you just say?
Dude's got arrested multiple times for dumb shit.
Yeah, he like supposedly beat up somebody and like robbed them at a bowling alley in Cincinnati. Also, I saw him pumpkin picking. So, he's just a weird dude. I don't know what to think of Adrian Broner, but I hope to
He's
God...
a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit. I hope to God he did get his ass beat in a Houston strip club by Houston rapper Boston George.
Boston. I feel like these rappers need to workshop a little bit better. Like, especially new rappers. These names are just fucked. Boston George. I'm going to make it big as rapper Boston George. Man. All right, well, moving on. I didn't think that 2 times... Well, okay, let me back up. It's not shocking that in the current climate that we would have the issues, or we would hear about issues where somebody black got the police called on them for trying to use a bathroom at a Starbucks. That happened already this year. This time it ventured in the sports world. A black man got the police called on him for trying to use a bathroom. This time in a hotel in Arizona. Tight end for the Cardinals, Ricky Seals-Jones, was arrested this week being denied usage of the pisser at W Hotel. He was charged with assault, criminal trespassing, disorderly conduct.
That's a lot of charges for this.
A lot of charges, and the hotel basically said, "Oh, hey man, he was belligerent when he walked in. He tried to fight us, yada yada yada. So we had every right. We told him the bathroom's only for paying customers, which seems pretty ridiculous. It's just a fucking bathroom, but whatever. In Seals Jones' case, he just said, hey, I was drunk. I really needed to use the bathroom. Like, this wasn't just a casual, hey, can I use your bathroom? No, all right, cool, I'll hold it and go to a McDonald's. He says he really had to go. And his account was that, the employees were standing in his way, and he just tried to walk past them. And they, got in front of him or whatever, and he was just trying to move through. So he ended up getting tackled by the employees because they, didn't want to. But super messy and super uncalled for. I don't understand why, even if that's your policy ultimately, and I would think with a local guy, an Arizona Cardinal, it'd be, oh my God, yeah, sure. Go use our bathroom. I mean, you're the local team's tight end. I mean, yeah. I can't imagine why they were so steadfast and sorry, man. Rules is rules, and you're just like everybody else, and we're not going to let you use the pisser no matter how drunk you are or anything. It seems
like
absurd to me.
I feel like hotel bathrooms, like the lobby bathrooms, are the only place where it's totally cool to just go in and piss no matter what. Like, because they don't know every single guest that comes in. So you
Right.
just walk in and act like you're there.
I was gonna say you don't even have to be a guest to use the bathroom.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
At
Like,
hotels all the time.
when I was doing stand up, if I had to shit on the road, it was 100% pull into a hotel. Don't go to like McDonald's because it's disgusting. You
Right.
go to a hotel because they clean the lobby bathroom.
At least once a day.
Yeah, and that was the place to shit, was the hotel hotel lobby bathrooms. And I wasn't staying in the hotels. I was passing through the town and was like, I got to shit. We're going right in here. This is going to be way better than Flying J, so I'm fucking going in here. And nobody ever questioned it. You just walk in and just like, hey, how's it going? Walk right past the front desk. You don't acknowledge them. They don't know if you're staying there or not. Like,
No clue.
That's the craziest
But it's
part
just
to me about this.
why risk the bad pub over a hotel policy that's
Right.
antiquated at best? Now,
Well,
I
and
did read some stuff about why that like businesses and places like this have these rules. It's because drug usage, basically.
Well,
Because-
drug usage, and like they don't want just like random people coming in, destroying their bathroom, and then leaving.
Right, but I mean, with the drug usage angle, it was that, people will go in, get real high, pass out, and then, these hotels can't forcibly remove these people, so then they have to call the police anyway. So it's like a liability issue and all this stuff. I get that, I guess.
Nah.
But I mean,
That's some bullshit. Still,
I was just gonna say, if a guy comes in and specifically says, "Hey, I'm going to use the bathroom," I just I can't really see denying that person, especially if they're an athlete.
Yeah, no reason.
Yeah.
No reason to do that. Crazy stupid. All right, well, let's get into our last story of Upper Deck here. Scott, how serious do you take your sports?
A lot less serious than I used to.
Okay.
I once ripped my shirt off of myself during a 49ers Patriots regular season game. A game that they were winning, by the way, but I was just upset that Tom Brady had done something.
That's pretty serious. I once
That was about 6
cried.
years
I once
ago.
cried during the Bush Push game. I cried at the end of that one.
I cried when the Niners lost the Super Bowl to the Ravens.
Well, at least that's a Super Bowl and not a regular season game. Joe, how serious do you take your sports?
Well, I was a part of the people that burned their LeBron jerseys.
Wow, that's pretty serious.
You were one of
man.
those guys? Damn.
We're going to talk about that here in a second.
I was like 12.
Going with the Josh Hader defense. Okay, cool.
All right, well, we'll get back to that one because I definitely want to explore that that little nugget that you just
I
dropped
was
on
young.
us. Man, I'm flabbergasted right now. Okay, so Scott, if your beautiful wife was shitting on your favorite player, would you get mad?
Do you mean actually shitting on?
No, like just making fun of him.
Because I would think
Not
if she
like
was
literally
actually
shitting.
literally shitting on my favorite player, I'd have a problem. But
I'd be a little upset if my wife
don't
was shitting
shit
on
on Chipper Jones. I
Like,
mean,
don't shit on anybody. That's really unsanitary.
and it's really weird.
All right, so if she starts making fun of Chipper Jones, are you going to get mad?
I mean, I'd wonder why.
You guys going to like fight about it maybe?
Probably not. I'd be like,
You think you'd like leave, like go sleep in a different room maybe?
probably not. The
okay.
kids end up kicking me out of bed a lot now. I sleep on the couch
Nice.
half the week anyway.
If your wife came up to you and was like, Chipper Jones is a piece of shit and I hate him, would you get divorced over that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But that's exactly what a Russian man did this week. Because during the World Cup, his wife kept talking shit about Messi. And
Wait a
he
minute,
is
hold on. A Russian guy was
Yep.
upset about the guy
Super-
that doesn't play for his
Super
national
big
team.
fan of Messi.
Oh, okay.
Pulling for Argentina. Apparently, his wife is a big Ronaldo fan.
As
so they
anybody
have,
should be if you're going to be a fan of one of the two.
Right. So they have their ongoing who's the better soccer player beef.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, I agree. But after a pretty disappointing World Cup for Argentina, apparently the wife was teasing this dude so much, and this is what he told a Russian newspaper. Quote, "From the very beginning of the World Cup, she constantly mocked me and my beloved player, saying that he played poorly and couldn't even score an important penalty in the game with Iceland. When she once again stated When she once again started speaking unkindly about Lionel and his performance, I got angry and in turn expressed everything I thought of her handsome Ronaldo, the Portuguese national team, herself, and all the other clubs she is crazy about. Then I took my things and left her for good. He filed for divorce the next day.
I feel like all of that goes under just the generic irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, I would love to see a judge be like, what's the reason for this divorce? She talked shit about Messi, and the judge is like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Apparently, they'd been married for 14 years.
Wait, what?
14 years.
I've
Gone.
skimmed over that part of the story.
And here's the real kicker. Like, I understand when your team loses, you are very
Emotional.
irritable,
Yeah.
you're mad, and when somebody talks to you, it's like, just leave me the fuck alone right now.
right, yeah.
Had this dude just calmed down and waited another 2 hours, Ronaldo got eliminated the same day. So he packed up all his shit and left, and then Ronaldo got eliminated. He could have come back and been like, your guy sucks too! Fuck you! Yeah. Wow. Unreal. I can't. This has been Upper Deck, brought to you as always by Minuteman Tickets and crazy fucking Russian dudes.
And real quick, though, you got out of that so fast. It made me think of...
I just figured we could keep talking.
No, that's fine. But I was sitting there thinking, so I wonder if this dude knew anything about the story that we talked about with the Russians and the Argentinians as far as, hey, how to hit on the Russian women. this guy knows all about Russian women. And the irony here of the Argentinian team being the favorite team and player of his wife.
No.
Russian, like,
the Argentina team was like his favorite. He was the Messi.
Oh yeah, okay.
She's a
that
Portugal
makes it,
fan.
yeah. Okay, that makes it even funnier. Like,
No,
ultimately,
this was just 100%. Everything was building up for so long, and then finally
used this
he
as
was
the
just
final
like,
straw.
"You don't like Messi? You're gonna say all this shit? Fuck you! Ronaldo sucks. Fuck Portugal. Your mom's a whore. I hate your whole family. I'm out." And she's like, "What the fuck?"
I guarantee if you check the dude's text messages, he had he has a group text with his boys. Man, I'm looking for an out, guys. Like, I just don't have it. I can't just leave her. She's got to do something, and it's got to just set me over the edge. But she won't do it. I may have been there at one point with one of my girlfriends in the same situation. And then finally it happened. And I was like, that's it. I'm out. I'm done. Flew off the handle. Same exact thing. Or it was just like, no, this had been building for a long time. And you just finally found an out. Now, my out wasn't as ludicrous as somebody rooting for a soccer player, but I kind of get it. I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, I've been there maybe.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous on this dude's part. For those of you listening on 12 ounce Facebook,
Thank God,
Facebook
'cause
is
you're like
killed.
the only ones.
Phone lines are open 440-37-DRUNK. You can call in, make fun of us for whatever.
Technical issues.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be a good start.
I think it's whatever. It'll be fine. The thing that sucks the most about it is like every week I'm like, I got it, guys. I got it. We're good.
No, I think the thing that sucks the most about it is the week prior, we have something that is just like, all right, we just need to iron out this one little thing, and then we think we're fine. And then the next week, it's something completely different. And it's been that way for about 4 weeks now. Ever since should we talk about the whole YouTube thing? I mean,
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. So, I mean, not that it really matters.
it doesn't really matter because here we are, not on Facebook Live. The irony. So we switched over to YouTube initially because we had been on Facebook for a long time. That was where we started, went through. We'd always kind of had discussions, though, maybe of switching over to YouTube because we thought, hey, it looks like it might be easier to monetize, and if we can get enough listeners and subscribers, it can blow things up a little bit faster because we had tapped things out on Facebook. It's just our friends and the loyal listeners on Facebook, and things weren't growing necessarily. So we thought YouTube was a way to expand it. Well, we went through YouTube, got through what we thought were going to be the growing pains. It didn't quite get where we wanted. And basically, we just decided it wasn't working out. So, hey, we'll just go back to Facebook Live, which is where we thought we'd be tonight. But, hey, technical issues. And so now Facebook Live isn't working.
Well, I think the reason why Facebook Live isn't working is because we had to, like, overload the resolution to try to get things fixed on YouTube. And now it's too much for Facebook's. So I think that's why we're having the problem that we're having tonight. Whatever. It's fine. We'll get through this. And like 3 more episodes until we're going to take a break anyways. We're basically just limping to this finish line here where we're just like, come on, we got to get to this break.
Seriously.
And then hopefully shit'll fucking
have that
get worked
baby,
out.
bro.
It's like baseball.
Wait a second.
Joe, you burned a LeBron jersey. Let's talk about
Hang on.
that.
Yes, hang on a second.
While you're trying to shit on other sports.
You said you were 12 years old, right? Is that right?
Something like that.
And you went ahead and burned a LeBron jersey because he left
I
for
didn't
Miami.
have a LeBron jersey. I burned someone else's LeBron jersey.
Wow. There's so many extra layers
It was
to this.
fun.
Wait. How did you have access to fire to be able to burn
Come on
LeBron
now.
jersey at that age?
I was old enough. They were having jersey burning parties.
So did you wait a second? So was this a thing where your friend had an extra one and was like, "Yeah, you can burn this one. I'll burn the other
This
one."
dude's dad bought like all the discount ones from like Dick's
Just
and
to
said-
burn 'em.
and said, "Hey, you want to invite your friends over and have a LeBron jersey burning party?" And I went and burned some jerseys. Yeah,
That makes no sense to me.
Hashtag white people shit.
That makes no sense to me to buy a jersey for the. It doesn't make sense for me to burn a jersey anyways.
No.
It's already a weird thing. Like, what are you proving with that? But to buy jerseys for the sole purpose of burning them makes no sense whatsoever.
I didn't say it made sense. I said it was fun.
I mean, yes, if you're 12
He's
years
got a
old,
good point.
it would be super fun to burn a jersey. Have you seen the people that are like fake burning jerseys this time around for the Kawhi and DeRozan
that became
trade?
a thing. I don't know if it was just LeBron. I know that was one of the first ones I saw where this go around. There's no jersey burnings, but everybody sets everything up and it looks like they're about to, and then they like pay it over to a thank you note or something along those lines. Or
Well, it started when LeBron left Miami. Half people were burning the jersey, and then the other half were like, "Hey, thanks LeBron for bringing us, 2 more championships." And the other half were like, "No, let's burn it."
yeah. So I mean, but yeah, this go around. I did see a couple of the Kawhi.
Yeah, where like
people,
there was a dude that lit a
candle?
but it was a Popovich candle.
Yeah, next to a photo of Popovich. It was weird.
That was ridiculous. I would appreciate that more than burning a jersey because, especially with like these, why are you going to burn the? Well, the Kawhi jersey, I get.
I mean, what are you going to do with
it?
it if you don't burn it? What are you going to throw it in the trash? Why not light it on fire?
Or keep it.
I
Like,
see those
keep it
idiots
for
who-
throwback night.
I see idiots who still rock Hushman Zada jerseys in this city. So
I got a Brandon Phillips jersey sitting in the closet right now. I mean, I just don't wear it, but
see, this is why the only jersey that I ever bought for the Braves was Chipper Jones.
That's what you
Never
got to
have
do.
to wear
If you're
that
buying,
shit. You
if
got to
you're
buy
buying
a legacy
jersey,
fucking player.
Well, and
man.
not only that, here's the other thing when it comes to jerseys. I am at the age now where I feel weird buying a jersey of a dude who is younger than me.
Oh.
Because
I've been at that age for a long time. I said when I started wearing jerseys, I like, you know what? I'm going to have a hard, fast rule that when I get to the age where the player's younger than me, I can't wear a jersey of a guy
It's
younger than me.
super weird. Like,
so the only players that I can wear now are ones that were playing when I was a kid and who are all pretty much long gone.
It's a whole strange thing to me. Like, and it goes along with like waiting for autographs. Like Ezekiel Elliott is younger than me. I can't imagine walking up to him and being like, "Hey, man, can I have your autograph?" Like
spending $3,000 for the opportunity.
If you think about it, like, all right, Elliott graduated what, last year, 2 years ago?
it was 2 years ago.
So he's, I don't even know how far behind us at that point. We were like 07, so he's
23 years old at max.
2 years.
There you go again with math. But no, seriously, what he's got to be what, 23 years old?
so
at the
okay, so
oldest?
23. So that means when I was a senior in high school, Ezekiel Elliott was still in grade school.
Right.
Can you imagine like going up and asking a 6th grader for his autograph because he's just balling out on your grade school basketball team? You're a senior in high school. You're like, "Hey man, you fucking killed that free throw that your team hit because that was the only point of the game. Can I get your autograph? Because that's pretty sweet."
He will turn 23 in 3 days.
Wow, I'm good at math, bro.
95.
95.
Motherfucker was born. God damn it.
I can't do that. I can't imagine asking for an autograph, and I can't imagine putting that jersey on and being like,
I'm representing a guy that's half
because
my
every
age.
time I look at that, I'm going to be like, this motherfucker has done so much more in his life by 25 than I have. I'm 11 years older. Fuck this guy.
Right. Same thing. It's always been weird to me because I said this before that Bryce Harper was born on the same day as me. So it's always been super hard for me to like buy athletic clothing because I'm like, he is the same age as me. I'm not going to buy someone else's jersey now.
That's so funny that he says that because LeBron is like
He's our
over,
age.
He's slightly
a little bit older,
a month older than me.
Yeah, and he's younger than me by a few months. Yeah,
like as much as I like LeBron, there will be times when I'm just sitting there and it'll pop back into my head. Oh my God, LeBron is a worldwide phenomenon, and I'm driving Channel 9. What the fuck?
Whoa. Also, Craft Brewed Sports.
True. But it's seriously, and then it's when the sobering reality comes in, and I'm like, damn.
You know what I do when those waves of emotion hit me? I call my dad and I'm like, thanks for nothing.
You blame it on the
You
parents.
didn't push me at all, goddammit. This is all your fault. And he's like, look at yourself in the mirror. That's why you're not an athlete. I'm like, well, that's also your fault. These are your genes.
No, literally, these are your jeans. I'm wearing them because I can't afford new ones. Because I'm that broke because I'm not LeBron James. Fuck.
All right, let's talk some All-Star game and All-Star festivities since that's really
All that
the
happened
only
this
thing.
week.
The only other thing
actual
that-
sports.
No, I mean, there was some soccer, but you don't care
and then
about soccer.
Well, no, but I mean, the World Cup ended between
our
last
last
show we
show,
had. Yeah,
yeah.
so France won, in case you live under a rock.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ever since Belgium was out, I was like, don't care anymore about this World Cup.
Hey, speaking of Belgium being out,
Yeah.
I got 5 shots to give out.
You
Joe,
do
take
have-
a shot. Mike, take a shot. I'm now
Speaking
down to
of
3
that-
shots.
Now that that's true, you have 3 shots in the bank. Joe and I are all squared on what we owe outside of what you're going to give out here. Do you want to do white motherfucker while I pour these shots?
I do.
Because I'll just do another.
Because I was going to say,
right
you can go
after.
on ahead and have 2 ready. I'll wait till you get the shots poured.
Cool. Well, no. Explain what white motherfucker is. For
Oh
those
yeah,
that-
because like I say, it's been a little while since White Motherfucker was once upon a time a regular segment, but we've had a little time off from White Motherfucker because we've had so much other things going on the show. But White Motherfucker was born because Mike didn't know who sung the song Anniversary. Which is Tony, 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 for those of you not in the know, a 90s R&B classic. It was eventually revealed that Mike did actually know the song, but just didn't know the names.
Couldn't
and who
place
did
it.
Yeah. Anyway,
One of those type deals.
I tabbed him as a white motherfucker for having not known that. We
Sure
decided
did.
from then on we would ask 90s hip hop R&B questions, and if the person who was being asked the question did not know the answer, they were dubbed the white motherfucker and had to take a shot of Hypnotic. Now, Mike has to take a shot at Hypnotic if he gets it wrong. If I get it wrong, which I have, and it's embarrassing as fuck,
multiple times.
because I'm black and it's awful. I actually have
You're
to
a
get
white motherfucker.
I actually have to get iced, and so I am the one asking the question this week, though, because the last question I got correct that Mike asked. So for this week's white motherfucker, Mike, I ask you,
I'm ready. I feel good about this one.
rapper Eminem.
I'm
I'm making
all right.
it easy.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
This is your lane. This is your
Feeling
speed.
better. Feeling better.
All I need you to do is tell me the name of his very first studio album.
I feel like this is going to be a trick question because in my head I'm thinking it's the Marshall Mathers LP, but I know that's not right. I think that's later on.
For the record, the Marshall Mathers LP would be his second or his third.
Okay.
So,
what
ahead.
were some of the tracks on Marshall Mathers LP just so that I can get
The
a
Marshall
reference?
Mathers LP is actually my favorite.
Is that the one with
album of all time?
cleaning out my closet? And,
No, that's
okay.
that would be the Eminem show.
Okay.
Marshall Mathers
You're
LP
right. You're right.
was the classic of I Am Who You Say I Am, The Real Slim Shady.
That is a good album. That's why it's in my head.
It's my all-time favorite album of all time of anything. But while you stall, could you please tell me his very first studio album? So you named his third, and you accidentally tried to name his fourth. Could you get his second at least?
As you can tell, I'm pouring this shot.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
Yeah, put me out of my misery here.
His
on this
second was actually the one that everybody would think is his first because that was the Slim Shady. That's why I said it's the Slim Shady LP. But his first studio album was Infinite, released in 1996. Which was before everybody knew.
Oh, shit. Maybe in blackface.
You, sir, are a white motherfucker. On a question about a white rapper.
So my headphones did go out there. What was the name of the album again? What
Infinite.
What tracks would I know from Infinite?
You know what I'm saying? But you motherfucker, man, you white.
Was it not queued up right the first time?
Well, you would,
all the fucking problems today. All the problems.
But I actually thought that the one he used was even funnier than the whitest mayonnaise.
That's pretty good.
I didn't expect that.
So when we clip it, just go like 4 more seconds longer.
Okay, deal. Got it. I'll add that to my list of shit to do.
Well, the funniest thing is I don't own Infinite. That's the only album of Eminem's that I don't actually own in any form. I do have tracks downloaded from Infinite. You probably wouldn't know any tracks because he came onto the scene with
that's
My
the
Name
thing.
Is.
Right, yeah.
And that was
like
off of Slim Shady LP. So.
I went through a phase where I was listening to anything Eminem had put out.
And that's the thing.
So
if you looked up things
And
from
that's
Infinite,
real crazy. You went through an Eminem phase?
I know, right? Isn't that weird? Isn't that super weird?
Also very shocking.
No way.
I went through an Eminem phase too. It's called I'm Still In It.
Well, I go through phases of music in general where like I'll like just start binging something for
I get you.
the longest time.
And then you'll want to look up stuff that you've probably never heard of or whatever. No, I get what you mean.
Right. All right. I'm trying to find what was on Infinite so that I could be like, all right, I remember something from this, but I can't even find it on Google Play. All of the fucking problems today. Whatever. That's why we have Joe, and Joe's just sitting there watching me fucking do this on my phone.
You took your second shot?
Oh, no, I did not take my second
Take
shot
your white
yet.
motherfucker
Okay, here's
shot.
my white
There you
motherfucker shot. All right, there we go. Okay, cool. Let's see. Oh, there's one called 313. There's also a Backstabber. I know that song. I've heard
There you
that
go.
song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. I
remember that one.
I don't know almost any of the
Rest of the songs
by name. I would know the lyrics if I heard them, and I know I've heard Infinite, but I don't know any of the track names.
Yeah, there's none of these track names look familiar. Never Too Far, Searchin', Jealousy Woes 2, proofs on that one. Maxine 313, which I just assume is 8 Mile, like the prequel. Tonight, It's Okay, but Backstabber is one that I recognize. Well, there I am, the white motherfucker, even when it comes to...
just a quick question then. What's your favorite Eminem song?
The Way I Am.
The Way I Am?
Yeah. Either that one or Square Dance is probably that's my other favorite Eminem song.
How do you juxtapose The Way I Am to Square Dance?
There's the part in Square Dance where he doesn't say, where he says like the Uchi Walla Walla.
Yeah.
That part has been stuck in my head since that album came out. So for some reason, I just always go to that song and I'm like, I fucking love this part.
You whited and fucking.
But The Way I Am is definitely, that's number one in my book because that song is fucking amazing. This is a really good sports show today, guys. We're fucking killing it today.
Going down Eminem memory lane.
All right, let's talk some baseball here, some All-Star game. This may have been the best All-Star week that I've seen in
years.
a long time.
Years.
This
Hands
was
down.
fantastic. From the Home Run Derby to the All-Star game itself. Like, normally the Home Run Derby will be fun, and then the All-Star game is a boring pitcher's duel. where it's like, well, great, the AL wins again.
Well, and you just said it. The home run derby would be fun, not necessarily memorable, not anything. It's just
fun to watch.
Yeah, you're like whatever. This home run derby, I had no intentions of watching it. I turned it on, and I at first was sitting there just kind of Facebooking it, whatever during it. Well, it was just kind of background noise, but then I found myself watching it.
That's
and
because this new format. That's because this new format is so much better than they've ever done
great.
before. Joe, you are not a baseball fan. Did you watch the home run derby, and do you care about the home run derby?
Not a single second.
Of course not. God damn it, Joe. Fuck, man. Did you watch the highlights?
I mean, I watched the controversy on Twitter. I saw that, so I can be involved with people.
Joe has got consistency nailed.
Joe is anti-baseball 100%. Like, there's no way. What can we do to get you to watch
The Ohio
baseball?
Cup every day?
When I am home in Young Center, Cleveland, that's all like my family watches now. So if it's on, like, I'll watch it, but I will not physically put it on. I just can't do it.
Okay, but we're in a time of year. So I know you're a basketball fan. Summer league is over. You can't even fall back on that. What are you doing now? There's nothing else on.
Yeah, Netflix, Hulu.
So you would rather watch The Office for the 65th time than watch any baseball whatsoever.
Actually, I am going through Peaky Blinders right now. Pretty good show. Shout out.
Oh, damn. That's where you're at, baseball. That's where you've fallen to.
Baseball, you are behind Pinky Blinders. We were worried baseball was going to fall to number 4. It is number 5. It's NFL, NBA, NHL, MLS, Pinky Blinders, MLB. There's probably some other Netflix shows because Joe also mentioned Hulu, so he's like Handmaid's Tale, Letterkenny. Like, there's so many
Forged
more.
in Fire is what I'm going through on Hulu right now. The knife making show. Amazing show. Check that out.
It's so
It's
sad.
just making knives? That's the whole show?
And they cut things in half.
It's so sad that's so true though. For majority of people, when they compared to baseball, it's like, yeah, I mean, I'd literally rather watch paint dry.
Here's the shittiest thing. Like, the Reds, since hiring Jim Riggleman, getting rid of Brian Price, are playing really well. They're like out of their minds right now. I catch some of the games sometimes, but my excuse is a little different than Joe's. I have a 2-year-old who takes over the TV at 8 o'clock before bedtime, and then we have to put him down at 9.
Man,
so then I get out and I'm like, all right,
with
well,
the kids. This shit starts at 7 o'clock. They haven't quite gone to bed, and all I hear is, I don't want to watch baseball. I don't give a fuck. You don't watch baseball. It's America.
Daddy wants to watch baseball.
You're about to be in bed soon, son.
Now, my son did watch the All-Star game with me.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, Jude, let's go sit on the couch. You want to watch some baseball? And he was like, uh-huh. I was like, I've never loved you more than I do right now.
He said, uh-huh. He can't take it back. Let's go.
So we sat on the recliner and we watched the beginning of the All-Star game, and then he was like, I want to watch Boopa, which is his word for YouTube, and we didn't get to finish, but I did get to like watch the beginning of the game with him. And so let's back up to the home run derby. Super entertaining home run derby. The format is so much better than it used to be.
Right.
I love the fact that it's a bracket style tournament.
I can't believe nobody ever thought before to have the time. Just time instead of the whole
instead of
outs
outs,
thing.
10 outs.
Just time it, and then you know exactly where you stand. You don't have to worry about this arbitrary. Because I never forget when it was the outs, there would be so many times where it's like guys would just stand there not swinging, waiting for this perfect pitch because they don't want to waste an out. Which, I mean, strategy, fine. But things could take a lot longer for no reason because they're just standing there and you're essentially watching a pitcher throw to a catcher, and that's all.
Yeah, and
Like, you
it's,
don't
and
have
it's
a lot of that
super
now.
boring. Yeah, now dudes are just taking cuts.
Right,
Like
because
they
there's
are-
no penalty for doing it.
Right. But there was controversy around this one. So in this home run derby, Bryce Harper is accused of quick, or his dad, his jacked dad, is accused of quick
His Ed
pitching.
Hockingley father.
So he is accused of quick pitching, and I mean,
See, my thing
he did. There's no doubt about
he
it.
did, and it's technically a rule that you have to wait until the ball lands from the previous out or the previous pitch before you can throw another one. But I mean, what's the harm in there being sort of a rapid fire thing, especially when it comes down to the end and you're close? I mean, I don't. That rule to me is kind of weird that they make you watch it, because the only time it comes down to them waiting for the pitch is early on when they're trying to save their strength. When they're going balls out and it looks like, all right, I need X amount of home runs, and to get the win that Harper got, he had to hit the 9 straight pitches that he did. Oh my God, there's a caller.
Craft Fruit Sports, who's this?
Hello?
Hey!
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Quit your goddamn laughing and
God,
ask a
it's a
question.
good thing these are anytime minutes, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, man. Look, it is a shit show over here. Everything is a fucking mess. The people on 12 ounce can't hear you right now because settings are all wrong. There's no Facebook Live. This whole show is we're just gonna burn this show. Basically, this show is getting lit on fire the same way Joe burned his LeBron jersey that his friend's dad bought him. What's up, man? How are you?
No, I'm not bad, but you know whose fault this is?
Mine. Wait, what?
No, this is all Fretboard's fault. This is all Fretboard's fault. Did you all off?
Totally
You guys last week.
fretboard.
Threw you all off.
Yes.
Everything's all kind of out of whack now, so
That's
goddamn it,
how
Fretboard.
you know it's a loyal listener. when
Oh,
they
man.
bring up other old shit.
Mookie, what do you got for us tonight, man?
See, that's the worst part, man. At this point, I don't even got shit for you guys. I was just trying to get through. I said this is the first time in 6 weeks that I've actually been able to talk to y'all.
Mookie
even though I've
calls
called every single week in a row.
He calls every single week at like 9:52, and we're like, dude,
Yeah.
we're about to get
We're
up there.
wrapping
Like,
up.
don't answer. We can't answer the phone. But you finally got drunk enough early to call us, so I'm super glad you did, man. Did you watch any? You're not a baseball fan. Did you watch any of the Home Run Derby or any of the All-Star game?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Like, technically, that was on the TV at the soccer field I was playing at. But all I know is the Cubs fans are a bunch of bitches.
They really are.
I'm glad they got their series, because they ain't gonna get another one for another 100 years because they don't deserve anything.
They aren't.
You know, like,
Get it again
who
before the
gives a
race.
shit if you're quick pitching in the goddamn home run derby? I mean, seriously.
That's what I'm saying.
What are we talking about here, man?
That's what I'm saying. And I had a friend that talked shit to me when Frazier won it, because Frazier's brother was 100% quick pitching when he won it here in Cincinnati. So I can't even deny it. I'm like, yeah, he was quick pitching. Fuck it. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Just ask me about high school golf. That's how this goes. But here's the other thing. They're not going to sit there like the dad and Harper aren't going to sit there and watch these balls fall. They're looking at the umpire. And if the umpire gives them the signal that it's good to pitch, then it's good to pitch. Like, you can't blame anybody else on this. Like, I'd be sitting there, as soon as he hits one, I'm waiting for the umpire to give me the signal. Cool, I got it, I'm going.
Yep.
Nothing wrong there.
Dude, think about this, though. This is the same organization that let baseball players shoot themselves up for steroids for years just to garner interest, and now we're going to get shitty about quick pitching in the home run derby?
That's a
Like,
good
come on,
point.
that should be expected.
I think
at
we
this
should
point.
be shooting up players.
What I want to
and
know
let
is,
them go in the home
did
run
they
derby.
check the bat? Was the bat corked? Because, I mean, if we're going to go that route, let's check the bat, too, already, right?
Well, and
I
Mike
like
and
that you're creating controversy on that one.
Well,
Mookie.
Mike and I talked about it middle of the week, though. It was one of those things where I said, now, if his dad and Harper were sitting there pregame and thought, hey, if we get in a situation where we need to quick pitch, we know it's against the rules, but fuck it, we're just going to violate them and just
do it, and we'll see what
Like,
happens.
Then that's one thing. But I'm guessing that conversation never took place. They were just sitting there doing what they had done all night. And
No,
it
what had happened
like-
was it got to the finals, and and Harper was down by 10, and
he
his
was
dad
close
knew
enough,
that, or
right.
down by whatever, and his dad was just like,
Right.
"Let's just fucking go, we're going," because that dude's
Right.
dude's.
Okay, just
you want to
go.
talk about steroids? That dude's on fucking steroids.
For
Bryce Harper's
sure.
dad was juiced out of his mind. It was just he probably did like a rail of coke. It was like, "We're gonna fucking go, let's just fucking go."
He said he blacked out in the finals and didn't remember any of it. So, yeah, he was probably ripped. I did remember. I do have something, and I don't know if this is great fodder per se, but
I'm sure it's better than
early ticket prices for FC's MLS season next year were leaked, and we're looking at about a doubling of ticket price.
Ooh.
So, if you're paying $100 this year for your GA tickets, you're going to go up to $200. Now, from my standpoint as a fan, you know what? I'll pay that. Because realistically, they had a game this on Wednesday. They had a game last night against the Tampa Bay Rowdies or some shit. That was Saturday. They played some other scrub team, Charlotte, last night.
Yeah.
I don't care if I miss a game against the Charlotte Independents, but you bring in Tim Howard and the Colorado Rapids, you bring in LA Galaxy, you bring in the New York Red Bulls with Bradley Wright Phillips, anything like that. Yeah, I'll make some time for it, and I'll pay that extra
Wayne
price.
Rooney. Isn't Wayne Rooney in D.C. right now, so he'll be coming to Cincinnati next year?
Say what?
Wayne Rooney is in D.C., right? So he'll be coming to Cincinnati next year.
Fuck that guy.
But it's somebody to watch. I'm saying it's a name. Anyways, go ahead. No, you're right. You're right.
You're right. Because if nothing else, that gives me reason to go to the field, get blasted, and scream at him
and make fun of Wayne Rooney.
Because him and Zlatan can both go back to Europe on a goddamn rap for all I care. Because you know what? It doesn't do us any good for the MLS to basically be the retirement home for world-class stars. You know what I'm saying?
That's what. Dude, that's what I said
good.
When Ronaldo signed with Juventus and the thing came out that they were like, this is going to be his last club. My point was until he gets old and then signs with an MLS team because that's what these guys do.
Right. Right. Exactly.
It's exactly what's going to happen.
Did you see his salary, though? Homie is getting $65 million a year with Juve.
Yeah, it's
that's absurd.
It's a ridiculous amount of money. I can't believe that. I mean, that's the difference between a worldwide sport and a sport that's relegated to a single country. You can afford to pay $65 million per year to a dude and let him stay there forever, rather than here where it's these guys are going to burn out in 3 years anyways.
Did y'all hear Brian Windhorst this week say, or maybe it was last week, say that LeBron James on a free open market would garner $500 million contracts from a team?
I did see that, and that number sounded about right, actually.
I believe it.
I mean, makes sense,
I believe it.
But that just shows you how backwards the American sporting system is compared to the way they got it in Europe. I don't care. It makes sense for me, competitive balance-wise, I get it. But it's just holy shit. So he's catching a tenth of what he should be based on what he does at that franchise worth. That's insane.
Kevin Durant went to one of his burner accounts and retweeted that with a comment that was Kevin Durant would get $600 million. Mookie?
No. He'd say that and he'd be like, "Hey man, sorry, I respect you, but for real, that's what it is." Because we know how KD be, right?
You're not an 18-year-old kid. All right, never mind. My bad, man.
Yeah. So hey, last thing, I'll let y'all get back to it. But did you actually have a motherfucker of the week poll this week?
Yeah, we did. Cubs fans are your first option, and your second option is the dude in Virginia who called the cops on a black guy for setting a hard screen at a pickup game at an LA Fitness.
You just mispronounced the right option because it's that dude all day. I'm even going to take a week off for my vote for a Jeep pie and give it to that fool down there in Virginia. That's how bad that shit is.
Mookie always voting for a Jeep pie except for the douchebag that calls the cops for a hard screen. Mookie, it was good hearing from you, man. I'm glad you got through, bud.
Hey, take it easy. I'll talk to y'all next week.
All right, cheers,
Thanks,
man.
buddy.
See ya.
Peace.
I fucking love that kid. He comes up with the craziest shit. Anyways, so what were we talking about before Mookie go? Oh, so Home Run Derby was great. It was a good time.
Right.
Fuck it. Bryce Harper's dad is a crazy cokehead, which I really hope that rumor picks up after this episode goes live.
I hope we get credit for it.
We won't, but I'll be cool if it just catches legs. We'll trace it back. You know how shit goes once it gets shared online. They cut out the username of who shared
source,
it.
Yeah.
Basically, all of our Instagram posts. Whatever. It's fine. But the All-Star game itself was also super entertaining. There were, 10 home runs in the All-Star game this year?
Yes.
Which is absurd because normally you get these ace pitchers who come in and they throw their one inning and they get all of the outs and nobody can hit them. And it's not like a regular game where you see them 2, 3, maybe 4 times before you can start to really rack up some hits. So you see this ace one time and then you move on. This time around, it was just dinger derby all over again.
Well, the problem, or I guess not really the problem.
Not a problem.
The thing was, I'm so used to, all right, these guys are going to come in and they're juiced. You got guys that are usually not topping out because they know they're only going one inning. Well, for whatever reason, in those certain cases later on, they were getting hit. I mean, Hader has like a less than 1 ERA or something stupid for the Brewers. He's been lights out for the Brewers, and Gene Segura took him deep like it wasn't shit.
Yeah.
And, I mean, before I knew he was a super racist, it was pretty freaking incredible. Like, oh, shit. Now, I'm a National League fan, so it was more like, you motherfucker, you would pick
Couldn't do
this
that
time.
when you were with the Brewers, but you were fucking
Braves
good.
just played the Brewers a week and a half ago, and he actually didn't pitch because he was hurt coming down the first half stretch there. But couldn't have that happen then. But in the All-Star game, you decide, hey, I'm going to give up some dingers. But so it kept me engaged to where it's like, all right, at any given moment, somebody could do something. The only problem with it on the flip side was that it was pretty much strikeout or dinger. And that's where baseball has gotten in the biggest picture.
But don't you think that's what most people want to see? Like most people, I think so. I think you're wrong. I think most people want to see.
I think that it's in the average fan's mind that I want to see home runs. But if in between the home runs, there's no action and it's all strikeouts, all weak outs, I don't think that's what they actually want. I think what they ultimately want is a lot of offense. And if that means, hey, there's a double, there's a single, and then it's just bringing around, and then there's a home run.
And then a dinger.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's actually what they want. But when you're sitting there, and this is the way that I think this is part of the problem with baseball, and this is the part that they can't fix. Guys are trying to hit home runs, and when they don't, they strike out.
Joe?
And so there's this long
problem?
lapse of shit where if they're not contacting and hitting it out, it's just you're just watching a bunch of guys walk back to the dugout.
Joe, do you agree with that? Is that your problem?
I mean, it makes for shorter innings if not a lot of people come up.
And Joe's all about shortening the game, so there you go. This is his brand of baseball all day. All right, well.
I don't give a shit. It could be all strikeouts and 1 home run as long as the game takes an hour and 45 minutes. I'm cool.
Hour 45. Sheesh.
You got that kind of time?
I agree that most people want excitement. They want the energy. Yes, the home run is the biggest source of that, but then people get mad of, oh, you left people on base, or like, why didn't you bring them home then?
Right. I mean,
and all
you
this
want
kind of stuff.
action.
So, right, they want the action, and the only direct line into your veins of action is a home run. So
all right,
go
so
shoot
let's
that.
get rid of the pitcher position altogether and just have
and then bring in the DH, right, for everyone.
this motherfucker. No, just bring out. You can get rid of the DH and just have a pitching machine pitch. Because fuck it, then we'll see a lot
Just
of
make it
home
like BP.
We'll see a shitload of offense doing that. You don't even need infielders at that point. Just put everybody in the outfield. You can ban the shift.
Just bring the
because-
kids in. Bring it like the home run derby.
All right, there it is. Get rid of baseball. Nothing but home run derbies. You get your lineup is just home run derbies, and whoever scores the most wins.
Isn't that what beer league softball is?
Kind of.
More or
That's a
less.
good point. That's a good point. That is beer league softball.
Or like the softball that they show on ESPN where the dudes are like jacked out of their minds looking like...
They're all Bryce Harper's dad.
Yeah, just humongous. And you're only allowed like 6 home runs a game. That's it.
That was the league I played in. You were only allowed a certain number of home runs, and dudes would get so pissed when somebody hit one after the limit. They were like, "What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?"
That or solo shots. Like if you wasted your home run while no one was on
people got
base,
really mad.
What are you
Yeah,
doing? You have
got
to wait till people
really
get
mad.
on base.
That's funny.
It was bases loaded, and then you better be swinging for the fences. And then after that, you better never hit another home run, because then drunk Billy that organized the team and his cutoff T-shirt gets really pissed. All right, last thing about baseball before we move on.
Rob Manfred?
Yep.
Moving on.
Came out this week that Rob Manfred said that Mike Trout. Everybody, that was the talk of the All-Star game. Mike
It's
Trout.
his fault.
Yeah, and Mike
He's
Trout
not more
is
popular.
Mike Trout is not even arguably. He is the best baseball player currently in the league.
In fact, he's so good that he might be the best in our lifetime.
Exactly,
And
He's
it's the
phenomenal.
most unknown
Sitting
thing
there-
ever.
Sitting there with my son on the recliner when they announced Mike Trout, I was like, Jude, that guy's one of the best baseball players that I've ever seen. And he was like, I watch YouTube. I was like, oh, God damn it. No, we're watching baseball, son. But yeah, Mike Trout is phenomenal, but nobody
knows
really knows who he is outside of baseball fans.
And I'd argue outside of California.
Now, I think baseball fans know who he is.
Some, but baseball's so
I don't think they
regional,
realize.
like-
I don't think they realize how good he is.
Okay,
but I
all
think
right, yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
know
They know
the
the name. Yeah,
Mike
and
Trout.
that's my thing. Is they don't ultimately respect it as how it should be.
Right, this dude should be.
Revered.
People should be watching every single Angels game because of how good he is.
Right.
Just to take in.
They should cut into Angels game.
Yeah, they should be like Mike Trout's at bat.
Yeah,
Hey, come watch this. And then cut to
and he's
every
only
play he makes in the
27.
field. It's unreal what this dude's doing. But Manfred says the reason why he's not popular is because he won't do more commercials, and it's his fault.
Yeah, basically just putting all the blame on him for being.
Which I understand. There is a something with. There are some athletes in baseball who are extremely good who don't like the limelight. Look at Joey Votto. Joey Votto is
Right.
another example of a fantastic player who suffered from a lot of anxiety. He had some struggles with his dad's death. Like, that dude just didn't like the limelight, and he's starting to kind of open up a little bit now because I think he realizes, well, I'm fucking stuck with the Reds for the rest of my career. I might as well try to have fun while I'm here. But I think there's something to these really good baseball players that don't necessarily like being out in front like that. But that doesn't mean that this is Trout's fault that MLB isn't cutting in every time he's at the plate or showing every highlight of him. That's not his fault.
Well, yeah, and the problem is, in Trout's case, he's very good and he's very old school. He doesn't draw attention to himself.
Right.
He doesn't do the things that would garner sponsors to say, "Hey, oh man, we got to have this guy." But it's not his fault that the sport itself doesn't promote him more as in general. They have the ability to, no matter what he does, they have the ability to push his face and his because they own
right,
his likeness, for lack of a better term, and MLBPA and all that. They can push him to the forefront of everything, but they just
that's the thing. Like, if you think about that year that McGuire and Sosa were chasing the home run record, they weren't so popular because they were doing commercials.
Right.
They were so popular because, one, baseball was popular, and that's the other thing. Mike Trout suffers from the fact that baseball sucks outside of baseball
Right.
fans. Like, people don't give a shit about baseball, so they don't give a shit about Mike Trout because he plays baseball. Nobody gives a fuck about baseball.
It all rolls downhill.
So if Manfred was better about marketing baseball in general, then the fans would follow and then would recognize Trout's greatness. But it's Manfred's fault, and he's fucking trying to say, well, if this dude would just do goddamn commercials.
That's really what it boils down to, is that Rob Manfred is again passing the buck on something that he has direct control over as the fucking
Right.
commissioner.
Right.
Do your job. Don't blame
do your job, Manfred.
Don't blame the fucking player over something like this. I mean, could he be more vocal? Sure, but the overarching thing is that MLB just sucks at marketing their best players.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's stop talking baseball because I'm sure people are sick of hearing that. I love that we sit here and go, nobody gives a shit about baseball. Here's 45 minutes about baseball for you, and we're just going to keep going on and on about nobody gives a shit, but listen to this.
In your defense, this was the first time we talked about baseball in
I've really been
yeah.
fighting it.
Well,
I've really
and-
been fighting it because I know nobody gives a shit.
Well, and I was going to say, we love baseball. We could talk baseball every show for the entire hour and a half. It don't make for anybody else listening.
No,
to us,
everybody
'cause-
listening would be like, "Oh, god damn it, here we go again."
Oh, the baseball
Click.
guys. See ya.
Right? Oh, craft brewed baseball? No thanks.
Yeah.
Drunk guys talking about baseball. All right, let's do some. Let's talk NBA because the big news this week is Kawhi is moving to Toronto.
After all that.
Yeah, well, and so the other thing is there's been rumors that he wants to sit out this year and he doesn't want to
His
play.
camp is saying he ain't going to play.
Which I've heard, don't believe those rumers. I mean, if you think about it,
I don't believe him. But
well, and if you think about it, this is his contract year. This is his last year. He's not going to sit out and then try to he's not going to get a good contract coming out of this year. If he spends all
Coming
year,
out of a year and a half of basically not playing
right,
basketball,
nobody's going to pay him, so he's got to play, and he will likely play in Toronto. But I think this opens up. We talked about it before. Obviously, we think the Lakers are number 4 in the West. Golden State likely going to repeat in the East, though. Does this mean that Toronto gets past the Celtics? Because we had all agreed that the Celtics were the team to beat in the East. So does this move make Toronto the team in the East?
No. Well, because here's the problem.
No, I just laughed at. There was no elaboration. You were just like, no.
Because they had to get in the transaction, they traded out DeRozan, who was their first or second best player, depending on who you ask, between him and Lowry, whatever.
I asked Drake.
If you had all three of them, I would say, yeah, it makes them probably the favorites in the East, slightly over Boston. Only slightly, because I still think Boston ultimately would be better when you look across the board. But as soon as I heard, oh, wait, DeRozan's going, you're kind of just replacing. Like, he's a much better player than DeRozan. You have a much better chance. But ultimately, you're still not better than Boston. I don't even know that you're better than the 76ers still. Like, they couldn't. They got swept by the Cavs.
Yeah, but no, they got swept by LeBron. They didn't get swept by the Cavs.
They got swept by LeBron, but LeBron and the UNI-ettes. I mean, it was embarrassing what happened to them with those two guys that they spent the entire offseason saying, all right, we're ready. We got this. This is going to be, and then they got swept right out. I don't know that with Kawhi, unless Kawhi is absolutely at 100% and he flips a switch that we haven't really seen. Because as great as a defensive guy he is, like,
that's what I think Kawhi, because Kawhi has a lot to make up for from this season. And I think this year he has to ball out in order to get a decent contract coming into his free agency year.
He does, but I just don't think there's enough around him still on that team for it to matter ultimately. Like, Kawhi needs a lot more than LeBron needs. Let's put it that
fair.
way.
That's a fair point. Joe, do you think Toronto is now the favorite in the East?
No. If they would have gotten rid of Lowry instead of DeRozan, we'd be talking about something completely different.
And Joe makes a very good point. I think that if it had been,
you didn't let him make his point.
No, but I'm saying I would feel differently about this trade had Lowry been the one going to San Antonio.
Right, because Toronto also got Danny Green. So Danny Green,
right,
Kawhi Leonard, and Kyle Lowry are basically all the same player. They just have different heights. And they're all going to be fighting for the ball. They're all a bit slim, thick, or however you want to call it. The chubby, skinny, whatever you want to call it.
That's my favorite term, slim. No, I like that, slim, thick.
And all they do is they just drive, and sometimes Danny Green shoots a three or whatever. Kyle Lowry sometimes will shoot a three, but they really didn't get any better in terms of competition-wise. It's just going to be the same thing.
All right, so Celtics, Sixers, Toronto, where the seeds fall.
It'll probably be Celtics, Toronto, then the Sixers.
Oh, you got 70. See, okay. I still think that.
I just still think 76ers are just going to have their hiccups again, trying to play through.
I just feel like they got one more year to
trust
gel.
The process. Just trust the process, guys. Trust the process. Sixers, Celtics, Toronto. Trust the process. There you go. All right, let's do this real quick before we move on. By the way, I forgot to mention this after the call from Mookie. Mookie's call was brought to you by Rally House. Next time you need to suit up and rep your team, be sure to go to 12ouncesportsradio.com. Click the link on the right side of every page. Rally House has gear from every major sports league, plus NCAA, and even local gear. Help out the station by going to 12ouncesportsradio.com before placing your next order. That's 12OZsportsradio.com. Real quick before we move into Consume It or Can It, British Open started this week.
Tiger's back.
Tiger, is he back?
No.
Whoa, it's not the British Open.
It's the Open, sorry. Well, we're in America here. It's the British Open.
I was going to say, when we're talking about it here, they might just call it the Open.
Golf fans call it the Open.
They changed the name.
Oh, did they officially change
it? It's
it?
really the Open.
2 years ago, they took out British out of the name.
Right. Oh, see, I missed that.
So now it's just the Open.
But until
the Open Championship.
Until England gives Ireland back to the Irish, fuck them. This is the British Open. They can suck my cock.
Well, they can suck my cock in general because I thought it was just one of those things where they're like, no, you snooty Americans call it the British Open, but it's actually just ours.
Now
It's
that
the
Meghan
Open.
Markle is over there, she's going to get this back to being the British Open because she's the princess we all need. Is Tiger back? Joe, you are the Tiger fan. He's at what? Even par
Even
after
par.
his first round? Leaders at -5, so no, Tiger is not back.
Is Dustin Johnson not back? Dustin Johnson's +5 today.
Well, I mean, that's a bad tournament. It's just Dustin Johnson just had a bad day.
So, like, yeah, exactly.
Paulina didn't.
And Tiger
didn't
had
hook
a
him
better
up.
day than Dustin.
Yeah, but Tiger
And
not back.
Speed.
Hang on though. The argument that you and Lou the dog have put out is that
Yes,
Tiger
he
Woods
is back.
Tiger Woods will be competing weekly, and ever since that argument was made on the show,
He hasn't competed in
Tiger
shit.
Woods has been non-existent. I don't know what the projected cut line is. I think Tiger's tied for 33rd right now, so he's probably safe for the cut right now. Depending on what happens on Friday, he could have a blow-up day tomorrow and not make the cut, and I
Most
would
likely.
laugh my dick off. There is your British Open update. Tiger's not back. You want to get into Consumer Canon?
Absolutely. Oh, our producer's a little butthurt. He's not going to get any Consumer Canon music for us.
There we go. There it is.
Consumer Canon brought to you by our good friends at Tavor.com.
Hang on, the best part about that, doing that, nobody on 12 Ounce heard what you just did. And then,
Oh, it was just us. And then
there's no
hysterical
Facebook
laughter.
Live, so it's just us
man.
laughing at
Jesus.
Joe. Me and him. Anyways.
Does 12 Ounce take our resubmitted feed? So,
Yeah. We'll
Okay,
give him-
good.
I'll give
So
him the file.
I was going to say, so at
Yeah,
least
so
the people
when
listening
you
to
hear
this
the
after
replay,
the fact,
yes, when you hear the replay,
gonna
you
say,
will hear the call.
it's not just our terrible version played throughout the week.
No, it'll be the
Okay.
mix. You'll hear the actual sound cues. You'll hear me being called white as mayonnaise.
You'll hear our callers.
Yeah. And I promise you we will get this fucking figured out, guys. I don't have to tile anymore. Grouting is done. We'll get this shit figured out. Consumer Canada brought to you by Tavor. This week we had Breakside Salted Caramel Stout.
Caramel.
6.7% ABV. Scott, I will let you go first.
I'm canning it. This is just a stout. And if we're going off the same standards as we did last week, or it was just a beer and it just tastes fine, nothing bad, nothing good, it's the exact same thing. I never tasted anything caramel. There's very little hints of salt. Like you said, it's got chocolate, but
Chocolate as fuck.
yeah, I mean, stouts, though, generally have a chocolate
Right.
flavor to them. So they get no credit. They are awarded no points. I'm canning it just because
Because it didn't live up to the name.
it doesn't live up to the name, and I couldn't with good conscience say, hey, yeah, you should try this beer. So
Fair enough. Joe, you are not a stout fan, consuming or canning the stout. You didn't get into any of the hams over there, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there.
I was dealing with.
I know there's a lot of tech
technical
problems. I
issues.
get it. I
I
get
just
it.
said,
you
you
can
know.
take a hams home with you if you want.
But okay,
But you're going to have to pay me for it.
I'm literally agreeing with Scott that there is not bad. So like you said, I'm not a stout or a porter guy, but it's like not bad and it's like not good. It's just kind of tastes like a smoky yoo-hoo almost, chocolate water right now. So yeah, it's a can.
Guys, this is the first ever triple can on the show. I'm canning it too for the same reasons. I think it's a very good stout, but it doesn't deliver on what it promised in the notes, in the beer. Like, there's no caramel flavor at all. It's a
Caramel.
yeah, thank you, Joe.
It's a really good stout, but it's not a good caramel stout.
Well,
I
and here's-
expect
Caramel.
Here's the thing, Joe 2 weeks ago made a great point after we were off
would you
the
buy
air.
it? Oh,
No, yeah,
did
no.
you make that
after-
on the air?
No,
Would
I
you
think
buy
we
it
talked
again?
about we talked about that off the show and maybe the Facebook or the Instagram post.
No,
or
I think
whatever.
he said it on the show. Would you buy this beer again? And he
Okay.
said no. He
Either
wouldn't.
way.
He wouldn't seek it out. That was a
but
comment on the show.
I guess he elaborated on it when we were off the show, and it made good sense. It's like, you know what? We keep hyping up some of these beers or giving them passes and saying, yeah, it's a consume just because it wasn't a terrible beer or whatever. But I'm like, no, you know what? If it doesn't live up to what it says it's supposed to be, then it's got to go.
Yeah.
Like, that's a can. Don't tell me you're one thing and then I taste it and it's like, yeah, I didn't taste anything like that.
Right.
So
no. I agree 100%,
Step
and that's
your
why I
shit
can
up.
it. That's where my
Right.
head went to.
Step your shit up.
So a triple can on Breakside salted caramel stout. It's still a good stout. Like, go ahead and have it. If you like stouts, you'll probably like this beer, but don't go into it thinking you're going to get any of the flavors that it said it's going to deliver. Cool. That has been Consumer to Can It, brought to you by Tavor. Be sure to go to our website, craftbrewsports.com, and click on the link to get a free $10 in credit.
we got to go.
We do got to go.
All the fuck-ups
Apologize.
tonight.
Apologize for all the technical issues. We will get this shit figured out. Shout out to 12 Ounce Sports for having us on the air. We'll be back on Facebook Live next week. Hopefully, stick around to go to Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. I have an announcement that I'll make on Instagram about an giveaway in August. Check that out. Follow the show at Craft B Sports. You can follow me at Mike Merlin. Follow Scott at ScottyK_Jr. Follow Joe at Joe Goalie 4. Cheers, everybody.
Quit bitching, Cubs fans. Oh, by the way,
We'll do it. We'll do it in Instagram Live.
Oh, fuck.
Instagram Live.
bye.
Caramel.